Hey, one student, Mr. Yance. I'm going to go through with you a little bit today on the lab that we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing the sucrose osmosis lab. Pretty simple. What we're going to use is a piece of dialysis tubing, which I've been soaking in water. Looks like this. It's not just a piece of plastic. It's actually going to simulate our cell membrane. So it's got microscopic holes in it, just like a cell membrane would have. It's semi-permeable and allows water to come in, but it's not going to allow our sucrose to come in. So our sucrose is this good old ordinary sugar that I have mixed up in different concentrations. So I have bottles labeled in my lab, 0.8 moles, 1.0, 0.6, 0.4, 0.2, and then I got one group, or actually two groups, that's just going to do 0. Okay. And from the notes and from the test that we just took, you know that we have, hypotonic situations where I have less solutes, more water. I have hypertonic, which means I have more sugar, less water. And I have isotonic, where it moves both ways equally, and pretty much like an equilibrium type of situation. Okay. So I've got this set up. So we got our dialysis tubing. I have just a cup of water. It's got 170 mils of water in it. I have a funnel. Okay. And I have a measuring cup to measure out our sugar concentration, right? The difficult part to this lab, this is going to sound funny, is getting the dialysis tubing ready. So basically what I'm going to do is take one end of this dialysis tubing, and I'm just going to twist it just like you normally would. I have two pieces of string. So I'm going to take my string, and I'm going to basically, and this is the hard part, it sounds simple, but it's not. So I'm just going to take that string, and I'm going to put a knot in it, okay? And I really suggest my students put more than one knot in it, because the worst thing that could happen is you tie it off and then it comes loose, and then all your fluid leaks out all over the table, and not good, because we want to trap this sugar water inside of that tube, okay? Now, then we're going to take our fingers, and this again sounds simple, but it's harder than it looks, and we're going to rub it back and forth until I get an opening. Okay, and I do have an opening in there. And then we're going to stick a funnel in there. Okay, pretty simple. It sounds easy anyway. It's harder than it looks. So you got to make sure you get the funnel inside of the dialysis tubing. And sometimes that works real well, and sometimes that doesn't work well at all. As you can see with my difficulties I'm having. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to get this funnel down in there. There we go. I'll put her up against the spout, okay? Prior to that, I have taken my 8 moles, in this case 0.8, and I put it in this little measuring cup, and I have a little line on there at 25 mils, and I'm going to gently, hopefully all goes well, there it goes, we're going to fill up this tube, okay? And you can see, hallelujah, nothing's leaking out the other end. That's good. I'm going to twist off this end, just like I did the other end. I'm going to take my string, and I'm going to carefully make a knot in that one as well. Again, it sounds simple. It's not as easy as it looks. Okay. And I'm going to tie it off. Okay. The biggest thing is we got to make sure it ties off so it doesn't leak. Okay. And I'm going to put a double knot in that thing again. Okay. And then I'm going to take it. I'm going to kind of blot it off on piece of paper here. You can see there. Okay. And then I have a scale. Hopefully I'll move the scale over a little bit so you can see. Okay. This is the critical part that you can't forget to do. Okay. And I'm going to zero this scale out. I'm going to lay this on there. In this case, it's 30.24. I'm going to record that in my data table. That's kind of the idea. Okay. And then I'm going to take this little sausage tube of 8 moles of fluid, and I'm going to submerge it in my water solution. I'm going to leave that overnight. So I'm going to have my classes just leave that there. Okay. And then tomorrow we're going to come back in. We're going to take this thing off out of the water. And what has happened is water has moved into the tube at different rates, depending on how much sugar I have in there. And eventually it reaches equilibrium. That's why we can leave it overnight. I'm going to put it on that scale. I'm going to weigh it. I got 32.3 grams now. and I'm going to record that, and then we're going to do a math and graph it. So what I will do is I will send you guys the data that we get today. So be looking for that today after period 3, so probably in the afternoon. I'll post some of our actual data we got. And then all you guys have to do is like my classes have to do. You don't get to do this part of it, but you can do all the rest. And that is do the calculations, figure out what percent of change we had. There's a little mathematical equation on there. It's pretty simple. We're going to subtract the difference between the two masses that we got on the scale. And then we're going to convert that over to a percentage. And then we're going to graph that, and then we're going to answer the lab questions on tomorrow. So hopefully tomorrow you have that all done and handed in, because the end of the trimester is tomorrow and we're done. Okay. Hey, have a great day. I hope this makes sense, and we will talk to you on the flip side. See you. Bye.